Are you tired of watching the Toronto Maple Leafs stumble through another season of unfulfilled promises and playoff heartbreak? Well, buckle up, hockey fans, because the latest trade rumors swirling around the NHL could be exactly what this franchise needs to finally break their championship curse. The hockey world is buzzing with speculation about a potential blockbuster deal that could see Bryan Rust pack his bags from Pittsburgh and head north to Toronto after the earth-shattering departure of Mitch Marner this offseason, a move that left a gaping hole in the Leafs' top six forward group. General manager Brad Treliving is desperately hunting for offensive firepower to keep this team's Stanley Cup dreams alive. Picture this scenario. The Maple Leafs wake up tomorrow morning with Bryan Rust wearing the blue and white, while the Pittsburgh Penguins receive a package centered around Nick Robertson, David Kampf, an unconditional 2028 first-round pick, and a conditional pick that could sweeten the deal even further. This isn't just wishful thinking from desperate Toronto fans. It's a legitimate proposal from hockey analyst Tristan McKinstry of Heavy Sports, and it's got everyone talking. The trade would see Toronto acquire a proven 25 to 30 goal scorer who brings the kind of reliability and championship experience that this franchise has been craving for decades. Bryan Rust isn't just another name on the trade market. This is a player who has tasted Stanley Cup glory twice with Pittsburgh, scoring clutch goals when it matters most. At 32 years old, he's entering the prime years of his career with 3 seasons remaining on a very manageable contract that carries a $5.125 million annual cap hit. Let's be brutally honest about where the Maple Leafs stand right now. The Core 4 experiment is officially over. And while breaking up that group was probably the right call, it has left some serious questions about their offensive depth. Losing Mitch Marner's 100-point production and elite two-way play creates a massive void that can't simply be filled by internal options or bargain bin free agents. Bryan Rust brings exactly what Toronto needs: proven playoff performance, consistent goal-scoring ability, and the kind of veteran leadership that younger players can learn from. He's not just a regular season warrior. This is a player who has delivered when the lights are brightest and the stakes are highest. The beauty of this potential acquisition lies in Rust's versatility. He can slot seamlessly into Toronto's top 6 forward group, playing alongside either Austin Matthews or John Tavares. His ability to play both wings gives head coach Craig Berube incredible flexibility in his line combinations, and his defensive responsibility means he won't be a liability when the games get tight. McKinstry hit the nail on the head when he wrote that Rust would be a fantastic addition for a Maple Leafs team seeking to end its long-standing Stanley Cup drought. This isn't hyperbole. It's the cold, hard truth about what this team needs to take the next step. Here's where things get interesting from a hockey politics standpoint. Kyle Dubas, the former Maple Leafs general manager who now runs a show in Pittsburgh, finds himself in the unique position of potentially trading away a key piece to his former employer. The Penguins are clearly in a different phase of their competitive window than Toronto, with Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin in the twilight of their legendary careers. Pittsburgh is facing some tough decisions about their roster construction. Trading Bryan Rust could be the first domino to fall in what might become a larger organizational retooling. However, Dubas isn't going to make things easy for his former team. Reports suggest he set a high asking price for Rust, and proposed package from Toronto might not be enough to get the deal done. The draft picks are valuable, but Dubas has made it clear he wants young players and prospects as the centerpiece of any major trade. This is where the negotiation gets tricky. Nick Robertson and David Kampf, while decent NHL players, probably don't move the needle enough for Pittsburgh's front office. Dubas knows he holds the cards here, especially with Rust's full no-movement clause recently expiring, giving the Penguins more flexibility in potential deals. This potential trade represents so much more than just swapping players between 2 franchises. For Toronto, it's about making a statement that they're still committed to winning now, despite the major roster changes. It's about showing their core players, Matthews, Tavares, and William Nylander, that management isn't content to stand pat and hope for the best. For Pittsburgh, moving Rust could signal the beginning of a new era. It's an acknowledgement that the championship window with their current core might be closing, and that building for the future needs to take priority over squeezing every last drop out of the current roster. The financial implications are also worth considering. Rust's contract is extremely team-friendly in today's salary cap environment, especially for a player of his caliber. For a Maple Leafs team that's always dancing near the cap ceiling, acquiring that kind of value would be a masterstroke by Treliving. The hockey world will be watching closely to see if Brad Treliving can work his magic and bring Bryan Rust to Toronto. This is the kind of move that could define the Maple Leaf season before it even begins, giving them the depth and experience they need to finally get over the playoff hump that has haunted this franchise for so long. Will Kyle Dubas play hardball with his former team, or will he facilitate a deal that could benefit both organizations? Can Toronto sweeten the pot enough to pry away one of Pittsburgh's most valuable trade chips? These are the questions that will dominate hockey headlines in the coming weeks. One thing is certain. If the Maple Leafs can pull off this trade, they'll instantly become a much more dangerous team and a legitimate threat to finally bring the Stanley Cup back to Toronto. What do you think about this potential blockbuster trade? Would Bryan Rust be the missing piece that finally pushes the Maple Leafs over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and smash that like button if you're as excited as we are about the possibility of seeing Rust in a Leafs jersey